Seniors, eat these 4 nuts before bed to boost brain and vision while you sleep. You might not realize this yet, but the very foods you choose before bed can quietly shape how your brain and eyes repair themselves while you sleep. For millions of seniors, the story is painfully familiar. You walk into a room and forget why you are there. You squint harder to read the label on your medicine. Driving after sunset feels almost impossible because headlights blur into blinding streaks. These are not just harmless signs of aging. They are warning signals that your brain and vision are running low on fuel, worn down by years of poor circulation and oxidative stress. According to researchers at Harvard Medical School, one of the most powerful ways to protect memory and sharpen eyesight is not an expensive supplement or risky procedure. It is the nutrients in everyday foods you may already have in your kitchen. Tonight, I will share with you 4 specific nuts that science shows can support sharper thinking, stronger vision, and deeper rest. Each of them works differently, but together they become a quiet form of protection that begins the moment you close your eyes. So please stay with me until the end, because missing this could mean missing a chance to reclaim your clarity, your confidence, and your independence. 1. Walnuts. There is one food that deserves a place in your evening routine. It is the humble walnut. At first glance, it looks ordinary, maybe even forgettable, but inside this wrinkled little shell lies one of nature's most powerful tools for protecting your brain and vision while you sleep. Walnuts are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, especially a type called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. This nutrient is not just another healthy fat. It is a lifeline for your cells, working silently to reduce the inflammation that builds up in your brain and retina over decades. Think about the millions of tiny photoreceptor cells inside your eyes. They are like delicate light switches that capture images and send them to your brain. Without steady blood flow and anti-inflammatory protection, these cells become sluggish, blurry, and tired, especially at night. What makes walnuts even more remarkable is that they do not only slow down damage, they actually help with repair. While you rest, ALA and the polyphenols in walnuts work together to restore damaged nerve cells and strengthen the blood-retinal barrier, that thin protective lining in the back of your eyes. When that barrier is strong, nutrients can flow in and waste can flow out, keeping your vision clearer and your mind sharper. Science is catching up to what traditional wisdom has hinted for centuries. A study published in Nutrients in 2020 found that older adults who consumed walnuts regularly showed better cognitive performance and visual memory compared to those who did not. Another paper in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging revealed that walnut intake was linked to reduced oxidative stress in the retina, a major factor in age-related macular degeneration. These are not small findings. They tell us that a simple food eaten consistently can protect 2 of your most precious assets, your ability to see and your ability to think. Let me bring this to life with a story. Harold, a 74-year-old retired mechanic, came to me frustrated. "Doc," he said, "I cannot read road signs at night anymore, and I am not ready to give up driving." His diet was filled with processed oils and light on nutrients. We made one change. Every night, about an hour before bed, Harold ate a small handful of raw walnuts. At first, he was skeptical, but 3 weeks later, his face lit up. "I can read the signs again without squinting," he said. It was not magic. It was simply giving his body the right building blocks at the right time. The beauty of walnuts is their simplicity. They require no preparation, no cooking, and they are safe for most seniors, even those managing diabetes. Unlike sugary snacks that spike blood sugar and leave you restless at night, walnuts digest slowly, providing steady support for your nervous system as you sleep. And if cholesterol has been a concern for you, research shows walnuts can actually help lower LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, while supporting heart and brain function at the same time. So the next time your eyes feel dry or your thoughts seem cloudy, remember this: you do not always need another pill or another prescription. Sometimes the answer is as simple as what you place on your plate. Walnuts are not just a snack. They are a nightly investment in your clarity, your confidence, and your independence. 2. Almonds. Now let's turn to another nut that may seem simple at first glance, yet it quietly delivers profound support for both your memory and your eyesight. I am talking about the almond, smooth, slightly sweet, and deeply nourishing. For centuries, almonds have been celebrated for their flavor, but today science shows they are far more than a snack. They are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E, and that makes them a true ally for aging eyes and minds. Vitamin E, especially in the form called alpha-tocopherol, is a powerful antioxidant. Inside your body, oxygen keeps you alive, but it also produces unstable particles called free radicals. Over time, those free radicals chip away at the delicate proteins and fatty acids that make up your brain cells and the macula in your eyes. This invisible damage is called oxidative stress and is one of the hidden drivers behind memory loss, blurred vision, and age-related decline. Almonds help fight back by delivering vitamin E directly into your tissues, strengthening membranes and giving your neurons and retinal cells the shield they need. But almonds do more than just protect. They also help your brain communicate more efficiently. They contain small but meaningful amounts of magnesium and riboflavin, two nutrients essential for neurotransmitter production. Neurotransmitters are the chemical messengers that allow your brain to store memories, focus on a task, and regulate your mood. Without enough of them, thoughts slow down, concentration drifts, and you may notice moments of fogginess. By adding almonds to your evening routine, you are giving your nervous system the raw materials it needs to stay sharp. There is science to back this up. A large study published in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science found that people with higher vitamin E intake had a significantly lower risk of developing advanced macular degeneration, the kind that robs central vision. Another review from the Journal of Nutrition linked long-term vitamin E consumption with better working memory and even slower brain shrinkage in older adults. These findings are not small details. They are reminders that what you eat directly influences how well you see and how clearly you think. Let me share the story of Maria, one of my patients in her late 60s. She often complained of two things: constant forgetfulness and irritated dry eyes every morning. She had tried eye drops, memory games, and even extra cups of coffee, but nothing seemed to help. Instead of prescribing another pill, I suggested something much simpler. 10 almonds each evening, eaten slowly about an hour before bed. Within a few weeks, Maria noticed a change. Her eyes no longer burned in the morning, and she told me with a smile, "My memory feels less like fog and more like a window." Nothing drastic, just consistent fuel for her body at the right time. The beauty of almonds lies in how gently they work with your natural rhythm. When you eat them at night, their nutrients are released, gradually feeding your tissues while your body enters deep repair mode. Unlike processed snacks that leave you restless, almonds create a sense of calm and satisfaction. For those managing diabetes, they are low in carbohydrates and will not spike your blood sugar. For those concerned about cholesterol, almonds have been shown to help improve lipid balance, supporting overall cardiovascular health. So the next time you feel frustrated by memory slips or eye strain, do not overlook the almond. It is more than just a nut in a jar. It is a symbol of how small choices repeated daily can protect your independence, your clarity, and your vision of the life you want to live. 3. Pistachios. There is one nut that feels almost playful with its bright green color and slightly sweet flavor. It is the pistachio. Yet beneath its cheerful shell lies a deep power for your eyes, brain, and even your sleep. For many seniors, pistachios are just an occasional snack. But science now shows that this small nut carries nutrients that can transform how your body repairs itself overnight. Pistachios are one of the only nuts that contain meaningful amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin. These two carotenoids are the natural pigments that concentrate in the macula, the part of your retina that gives you sharp central vision. Think of them as built-in sunglasses. They filter out harmful blue light, reduce glare, and slow the oxidative stress that slowly erodes your eyesight. Without enough lutein and zeaxanthin, you may notice more sensitivity to light, more trouble adjusting between bright and dark rooms, or the creeping blur of macular degeneration. By enjoying pistachios regularly, you give your eyes these essential filters right before they need them most. But pistachios do not stop with vision. They are also a natural source of vitamin B6 and copper-2 nutrients your brain relies on to create neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. These chemical messengers influence mood, memory, and focus. When they are in balance, your mind feels sharp and stable. When they are lacking, you may feel distracted, forgetful, or even anxious. Copper also helps preserve the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your nerve fibers. With stronger myelin, your brain signals travel faster and more smoothly, keeping you alert and responsive. There is another secret hiding in pistachios. They contain small amounts of melatonin, the very hormone your brain uses to regulate sleep. A study published in Nutrition Research found that pistachios had the highest melatonin content among commonly eaten nuts, even more than walnuts or almonds. Why does this matter? Because when you fall asleep more easily and stay asleep longer, your brain and eyes have the time they need for deep repair. Better sleep means better healing, and pistachios help make that possible in the most natural way. I will never forget Roger, a 70-year-old retired high school teacher. He told me that every night his eyes felt scratchy and strained. He loved reading, but after 10 minutes, the letters blurred and his concentration drifted. Instead of adding another supplement or medication, we made one small change. A small handful of pistachios about 90 minutes before bed. 2 weeks later, Roger returned with a smile. "Doc," he said, "I can finish chapters again. My eyes feel calmer, and I am not dozing off halfway." That is the quiet strength of pistachios, supporting not just your eyes, but your ability to enjoy the things you love. The best part about pistachios is how easy they are to include. You can eat them raw, lightly roasted, or sprinkle them over a salad or yogurt. They digest slowly, keeping your blood sugar stable while nourishing your tissues overnight. And unlike heavy desserts or salty snacks, pistachios do not burden your system before sleep. Instead, they prepare your body for a night of gentle restoration. So the next time you feel your eyes grow tired or your thoughts scatter in the evening, remember the pistachio. It may look small, but it carries a gift that touches your vision, your memory, and your rest. One handful in the evening is more than a snack. It is a bridge to clearer nights, steadier focus, and deeper sleep. 4. Brazil nuts. Among all the nuts you might see at the market, there is one that stands apart not because of its size or its taste, but because of its rare mineral power. That nut is the Brazil nut. At first, it may seem heavy, earthy, even unfamiliar compared to walnuts or almonds. Yet, hidden inside is one of the most concentrated natural sources of selenium, a trace mineral that plays an oversized role in protecting both your brain and your vision as you age. Selenium may not get as much attention as vitamins or omega fats, but without it, your cells are vulnerable. This mineral is required for the production of selenoproteins enzymes that act as guardians against oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as tiny sparks that slowly burn through your nerves and your retina. When selenium is low, those sparks are left unchecked. Inflammation builds in the hippocampus, the memory center of your brain, and in the sensitive cells of your eyes. The result is a mind that feels foggy, a mood that feels unstable, and vision that loses clarity, especially in dim light. Here is the beauty of the Brazil nut. You do not need a bowl full. Just one nut a day can deliver more than 100% of your daily selenium requirement. That is how potent it is. A study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that older adults with higher selenium intake perform significantly better on tests of verbal memory and cognitive speed. Another review in Nutrients in 2022 confirmed that selenium plays a crucial role in shielding the retina from age-related degeneration, especially when combined with vitamin E from foods like almonds. This shows how nutrients often work best in harmony, each supporting the other in ways supplements alone cannot replicate. Let me share the story of Tom, a 75-year-old retired architect. Tom loved crossword puzzles, but lately he felt his brain was tired. He forgot names, lost his train of thought mid-sentence, and struggled to complete the games he once breezed through. His eyes also felt strained at night, and reading under a lamp became frustrating. Instead of overwhelming him with pills, I suggested a small step, one Brazil nut each evening. That was it. Within a month, Tom noticed something shifting. Conversations flowed more easily. His thoughts came back quicker. His eyes felt less tense in the evening light. It was not a miracle, but it was momentum. His body finally had the mineral support it had been craving. Of course, with something this powerful, moderation is key. Eating more than 2 or 3 Brazil nuts every day for a long time can lead to selenium overload, which may cause nausea, fatigue, or other health concerns. That is why the recommendation is gentle. 1 nut daily or just a few spread throughout the week is enough to unlock the benefits without the risks. Brazil nuts are versatile too. You can eat them raw, pair them with a piece of fruit, or chop them into a small bowl of yogurt. Their dense texture makes them satisfying, and because they digest slowly, they support your body through the night without spiking blood sugar or leaving you restless. For seniors managing diabetes or cholesterol, Brazil nuts are naturally low in carbohydrates and rich in healthy fats that support heart and brain health together. So when you think of Brazil nuts, do not think of them as exotic or rare. Think of them as a simple gift from nature, a daily dose of resilience for your neurons and your eyesight. Sometimes the smallest thing on your plate can create the biggest change in how you see, think, and feel. Now that you have discovered how each of these 4 nuts works in its own way to protect your brain and vision, the natural question is, how do you actually use them in your daily life? It is one thing to know the science. It is another to transform that knowledge into a habit that fits gently into your evening routine. The truth is, you do not need complicated recipes, expensive supplements, or rigid rules. You need a simple rhythm that feels natural and sustainable. Let us begin with timing. Your body enters its deepest repair during the first few hours of sleep. That is when blood flow increases, inflammation is regulated, and cells in your retina and brain begin to restore themselves. To support this process, you want these nutrients circulating in your bloodstream about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. That window gives your body enough time to digest and deliver omega-3 second from walnuts, vitamin E from almonds, carotenoids from pistachios, and selenium from Brazil, nuts right when they are needed most. Here's one simple plan that I have shared with many patients. In the evening, find a calm moment, maybe after dinner or during your quiet time before sleep. Prepare a small plate or bowl. Add a few walnut halves for their omega-3 second and polyphenols. Add 10 almonds for vitamin E and gentle protection for your neurons. Add a handful of pistachios, about 12 to 15, for lutein, zeaxanthin, and melatonin. And finally, add just one Brazil nut for your selenium boost. That is all. This is not about quantity. It is about quality, timing, and consistency. If you prefer variety, you do not need to eat all four every single night. Many people rotate. Walnuts and almonds one evening, pistachios, and a Brazil nut the next. Over the week, you cover all four without feeling overwhelmed. What matters most is not perfection, but consistency over time. As your body receives these nutrients, night after night, they begin to build up in your tissues, strengthening your vision and memory in ways you may only notice gradually at first. You may be wondering, can something so small really make a difference? The answer is yes. Let me give you an example. I once worked with a couple both in their 70s. The husband struggled with forgetfulness while the wife complained of blurry vision at night. Instead of 2 different treatments, I suggested a shared evening ritual. Together, they prepared a small bowl of mixed nuts and ate them slowly while talking before bed. After a few weeks, he noticed his recall was sharper, and she found that reading the evening paper no longer strained her eyes. More importantly, they told me the ritual itself became a source of connection, a reminder that caring for their health could be simple and even enjoyable. Safety is another important point. For seniors managing diabetes, these nuts are naturally low in carbohydrates and release energy slowly, so they do not cause sudden spikes in blood sugar. For those with cholesterol concerns, walnuts and almonds have been shown in multiple studies to lower LDL while raising HDL, the good cholesterol that protects your heart. And if you have digestive sensitivities, soaking almonds or walnuts in water for a few hours can make them softer and easier to tolerate. Small adjustments like these ensure that the routine is comfortable as well as beneficial. Presentation can make a difference too. Some of my patients enjoy their evening mix plain savoring each nut slowly. Others like to sprinkle them over a small bowl of plain yogurt or pair them with slices of apple or pear. The goal is not to turn this into a meal, but to make it a gentle ritual of nourishment that signals your body it is time to rest and repair. Remember also the environment in which you eat them. Avoid eating while distracted by television or scrolling on your phone. Instead, dim the lights, sit in a comfortable chair, and give yourself those few quiet minutes. This not only helps your nervous system shift into relaxation, but also allows you to notice the flavors, the textures, and the feeling of gratitude that comes with caring for your body. When health becomes ritual, it becomes easier to sustain. Over time, you may begin to notice subtle changes. Perhaps your eyes feel less dry when you wake up. Perhaps you find yourself reading a little longer before feeling strain. Maybe your memory feels clearer, your thoughts more fluid, or your sleep more restful. These small signals are your body's way of saying thank you. They are reminders that healing is not always loud or dramatic. Often it is quiet, steady, and built one evening at a time. So when you think of your nighttime routine, do not imagine a complicated list of tasks. Imagine simply placing a small bowl of walnuts, almonds, pistachios, and a single Brazil nut by your side. Imagine giving your body a handful of real natural medicine disguised as food. That is how healing begins, not with grand gestures, but with consistent acts of care. One handful before bed, one night at a time. That is all it takes to begin nourishing your brain, protecting your eyes, and reclaiming the clarity and independence you deserve. As we come to the end of this journey, I want you to remember one thing. It is never too late to support your brain and protect your vision. Even after 60, 70, or 80, your body still knows how to heal. What it needs is steady support and the right building blocks at the right time. Tonight, you have learned about 4 powerful yet ordinary foods. Walnuts with their omega-3 second to calm inflammation. Almonds with their vitamin E to guard your neurons, pistachios with their lutein and melatonin to shield your eyes and ease your sleep, and Brazil nuts with their selenium, small but mighty, to strengthen memory and protect your retina. These are not exotic remedies. They are not costly supplements. They are foods you can hold in your hand, foods that quietly work with your body while you rest. And that is the most hopeful message of all. Healing does not always require something dramatic. Sometimes it begins with one small act repeated each night. So I encourage you, start tonight. Place a few walnuts, almonds, pistachios, and a single Brazil nut on a small plate. Let it become your gentle evening ritual. Over time, you may notice clearer mornings, sharper thoughts, and a calmer confidence in how you move through the day. If today's message has given you hope or inspiration, please give this video a like and share it with someone you love. And do not forget to subscribe so you never miss the simple science-backed tools we share each week. Which of these 4 nuts will you try first? Leave a comment below. I would love to hear your story. Until next time, may your nights be restful, your mornings be clear, and your health grow stronger, one small choice at a time.